Hi, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about the defect template. What are the components in this defect template? In general, as a test engineer point of view, you should be familiar about the three kind of documents. One is test plan document, test case template, third one is defect template. Now today agenda is components in defect template. This is the screenshot which I taken from the ALM application lifecycle management or quality center defect reporting form, how it looks like. The template also in Excel sheet, we can have the defect template. So here we are going to discuss the each and every component, how it is going to be used, what type of information we are going to provide. What is defect template? In general, every organization will maintain their own template for defect reporting. Every organization will maintain their own template for defect reporting. So, what is the meaning of template? Template means which have some predefined components or skeleton of the document. Why this kind of templates are going to maintain in organization? Because different testings are going to work for a project. If they are going to provide the defects in their interested format, there won't be any consistency. In order to get the consistency in defect reporting, generally QA team will going to prepare the templates. This is one of the template which we are going to use for defect reporting. There's a defect template we are going to cover. What are the components are there in this defect template? The first one is summary. So where we are going to provide a brief description about the defect. A brief description about the defect. Let us take an example. When I'm going to do the account creation or registration operation, at that time the application may allowing when I use the different kind of values in password field and confirm password. It is accepted. So then how we are going to provide that information? There's a brief description about the defect. Application allowing different values in password and confirm password while performing user registration. So password confirm password should be same. It should accept. Different values are given. It should not accept, but application may accepting that information. The second component, defect ID. It is unique identifier for a defect. So it is a number for a defect. Each defect should have the some unique identification number. The third component, reported by, that is name of the test engineer. General who identified defect, the same person will go for defect reporting. Reported on which date defect reporting. It is one of the important thing. When we are going to defect report, maybe we are executing 100 test cases. So to 100 test case to execute, an average it may take 3 to 4 days of time. All these test cases are executed, then we are going to do defect reporting or on the same day. Whenever we identify the defect, on the same day, we need to go for defect reporting. In general, whenever we identify defect, on the same day, we need to report defect. That means defect identification date and defect reported date should be same. Reported to whom we are reporting defect. Generally, our lead we are going to report. Project, this is the name of the project. In which project you identify defect. Module, in which module we identify defect. Build version, in which version of build we identify defect. Then test set means name of the test set. in which test set that test case failed. Generally, test set means collection of test cases. So if test case is failed, we have to specify in which test set test case is failed. The test case ID or name. It is a name of the test case, which test case is failed. Then reproducible defect. Yes or no. Reproducible defect means whenever defect you identified, once again recheck the same functionality, the same version of the build. Defect is raised again, that is comes under reproducible defect. Whereas some defects may not occur every time. Those kind of defects are going to call not reproducible defects. Here we have to say yes or no. In the previous session, I explained more detail about the reproducible defect in defect management session. Try to watch that one also to get the more clarity on reproducible defect. One of the important thing. Then snapshot, defect screenshot to be provided when defect is not reproducible. Then reproducible steps. Reproducible steps are nothing but test case steps which we use it to identify the defect. Then severity, it describes the seriousness or impact of the defect to perform further test execution. Whatever defect you identified, how much impact the defect is taking your execution activities. Says the severity. Generally, test engineer will give the severity for the defect. Your point of view. So whatever defect you identified, how much impact the defect is taking your further test execution. So here generally we have the different kind of severity levels: critical, major, moderate, minor. Critical, what kind of defects are going to give is high functional defect, and there is no workaround to continue execution. That means defect which I identified, without solving such a defect, it is not possible to continue the test execution as a critical. Major, high functional defect, but there is a workaround. That means we can still able to continue the remaining test cases execution. Moderate means medium and low functional defects. Minor, user interface and usable related defects. There can be different levels of severities like critical, major, moderate, minor. Next one, priority. It describes importance of the functionality in which we identify defect. From user point of view, which functionality identify defect, how frequently user is going to use that application. Based on that, we have to give the priority. In general, developers will give the priority for the defects. There can be different levels of priorities: high, medium, low. I give a note here. When defects are reported to developers, then they conduct a meeting called triage meeting on defects. At that time, developers can give or change. Maybe already given means they can change the priority of the defects. Next one, status. It describes the status of the defect, which stage the defect was. Basically, we can identify it is status. So, in general, first time when we identified and reporting defect to developers should have the status as new. That the various components are there. Now, if you look into this, so summary, brief description about the defect. So, defect identified by severity, reproducible defect, which date we identified defect, status. So test case steps are going to be there. If you want to take the screenshot of the defect, there is a camera icon. You can click on that. You can take the screenshot of the defect from quality center or ALM when are reporting. This is the form we are going to get. There we have the various components and we have the screenshot option also. Any other things are the attachment, you can go for the attachment. Priority, severity. Okay, severity here it is. These are the important components in defect template. Okay. Thank you. Subscribe my channel. The next session I'm going to give the some examples on severity, priority with combination of the defects. Thank you.